Good evening, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis Autosports. First and foremost, we are shooting this inside a portion of our building that's actually currently under construction. So I apologize for any mess or anything you see in the background. It is dark outside. It's one of the reasons that we're in here. This is the second video that we have shot for this Tundra. We advertised and marketed this Tundra about a month and a half ago. We'll put the first video in the link in the description below for you guys to check out. We offered the truck and its current condition when we first got it in, which it had the typical Toyota Tundra paint issues on bumpers and hoods, roof, fender flares. So we offered it for sale the way it was. We didn't plan on anyone buying it like that because most of our customers want a vehicle from us fully reconditioned. And now this truck has been fully redone, fully reconditioned, serviced, and everything. So all the paint work that I'm gonna point out in this video, you can see in the first video was no damage. It was just typical Toyota clear coat issues that a majority of these trucks have. No accidents, no damage, all original panels. We'll even include some original pictures. This is a TRD truck. The TRD badge was removed during our paint process. That will get reapplied with a new decal, obviously. So we'll do a quick walk around so you can see the overall appearance of the truck, and you are not going to find a nicer 04 Tundra. 74,000 miles. It is fully serviced by the previous owner. They just did a $3,800 service on the truck. New Michelins all the way around, new calipers, rotors, pads. I believe, confirm this in the listing, but I believe they did catalytic converters as well. And this thing it came in phenomenal condition. The body was in really good condition, but you know, with this Toyota, these Tacomas and Tundras for this era, they just have paint issues. We specialize in them. We see it all the time. We just sold pretty much the same exact truck about 3 months ago and had to do the same exact work to them. That's another thing. If you guys are looking at these online to purchase, make sure you get really high resolution detail photos because the clear coat gets so thin that from a distance you can't tell. So if you're buying one of these sight unseen, ask for videos, get as much detailed information you know, about the vehicle as you can paint wise. So I'm just going to start from the front of the truck, work our way back. We have pictures of all the work getting done. We have a phenomenal restoration facility here. Our paint department, we don't do average paint work. It's high-end paint work. We use Axalta products, which are top-of-the-line products, but our procedures that we do, they're just extremely time-consuming, but the end result speaks for itself. Every single thing that I'm telling you that we painted on this truck came off of the truck. There wasn't one thing painted on the truck besides the roof. We weren't going to take the roof off. So with that said, the front bumper was completely taken off. Molding was taken out. Grille was taken out. Fog lights taken out. That was completely stripped down. It was 2K primed, it was blocked, it was sealed, it was base coated twice and clear coated 3 times. So everything that's on this truck that is painted and cleared was base coated twice, clear coated. We also did the front connection to the fender flare. The grille was original, it was fine, we didn't paint that. The hood had a lot of thinning of clear coat, same process. Hood removed, hood was stripped down to bare metal, built back up with 2K primer, blocked down, sealed with a spray sealer, and then base coat and clear coat. There was nothing wrong with this fender paint-wise other than it was very thin, and this color paint is impossible to paint one panel and not the other panel and not have a huge difference in colors. Even, you know, we have a high-end mixing bank here. We have guns that we shoot it with that's going to determine the color, but there's so many variations and everything else. But so what my painter does, just because he wants everything to match perfectly, although there was nothing wrong with this, he blended the paint down into this, and as you see, it is an absolute perfect match no matter how you look at it. So while there was no damage here, to get that beautiful result, and we're shooting under a brand new 64,000 lumen LED light. So you're going to see this thing in phenomenal lighting, and you're going to see that every panel is spot on. Fender Flare was removed, completely sanded down, redone, repainted, installed. Same with the front bumper cap here. And this was slightly blended as well to just give that perfect blend. I'm telling you, it wasn't painted, and you will not see a difference in color there. The roof was completely stripped down and painted and completely redone as well. So really where these things really take a lot of damage is from the roof and the hood. Just the sun beating down on it, the top of the fenders, bumpers get typical rock chips and everything else. But Toyota in general, their paint process in the 90s and early 2000s was awful. So it is what it is. Phenomenal vehicles, as we all know, terrible paint. This rear bed, same thing here. Fender Flare removed, and I mean, just look at the end result. Another thing I want to point out, which just gets overlooked, and it is so time consuming. So this is actually going to be our reconditioning facility, and there's only going to be 5 employees in this 10,000 square. We're going to get the floors done. It's going to look awesome in here. We have lifts so that when they buff cars and do everything, they can get better access to it. But I got guys that will spend on that blue Cherokee that we just painted. And this is important for you guys to know. But this Cherokee was completely repainted. And I've had 3 guys on this Cherokee for the last 4 days doing nothing other than wet sanding this down with different grits of sandpaper. The lighting's bad in here, well, with this camera, I should say, but there's also a ton of, that's from sanding the paint down and everything. But after we paint, they will sand the clear coat down so that the clear is perfectly flat, with no orange peel. So beyond just painting and painting it right and stripping it and removing it, we spend days and days with multiple guys wet sanding it, buffing it down so that the end result is better than factory paint, because factory paint does have orange peel. So everything that I'm showing you guys after it was painted was wet sanded, compound, polished, and buffed. We also redid all the door handles, because if you look at any Tundra, I don't care what, if it's older than 7 years old, look at the door handles and they will not match the rest of the truck. I guarantee you that. Gas flap was done too. The rear bed, we were back and forth on doing it because there was if you look at the previous pictures, and we'll leave those pictures up, there was like a little sort of push in right here. And, you know, it was just like such a little dent, such a huge panel. But we're like, you know what? We're doing all this. It would be silly not to do that. So we did a little bit of body work here. And instead of them just blending it, he just went ahead and painted the whole thing. Of course, cleared it and everything else. So really on this driver's side of the truck, you're getting a glimpse of everything. The only thing that essentially wasn't painted is from about here to about there. Everything else was painted. And of course, the reason those doors look so good is after that was painted and paint corrected, those were also wet sanded, compound, polished, and buffed to get that old existing layer clear off and brought back to life. So everything looks absolutely perfect there. And essentially, same thing on this side. Brought the paint over the fenders, and we have pictures of all this. Flare painted, blended in just a hair, paint corrected the door, repainted The handles, those get removed, of course. And there was a little gouge here. Other than that, it was perfect. But once again, with us removing the bumper, doing everything else, we're just like, might as well just go ahead and do it. Fender Flare was also done as well. As I touched on earlier, you have brand new Michelin tires on here. The bumper has a little bit of wear. You know, there's comes a fine point on some of these trucks where sometimes you just got to let a couple little small imperfections go. There's a little ding in that back bumper there. If you want us to replace the bumper, we'll give you a really good deal on it. But you know, we start throwing on $300-400 bumpers. Our trucks are already expensive because of the work that we do. Plus we buy really nice low mileage trucks to begin with, so it can get pricey quick if we just do absolutely everything. I want to give you a shot of the roof, a little bit of dust on it, but it is absolutely perfect. Same thing with the hood up there. You got nice little for your ratchet straps. Back of the back gate is bed is super clean. There's a little scratch there and a little scratch there. We were not going to repaint that for those. It just would have kept adding up, so couldn't go too crazy with it. Inside, there's a lot of pictures. Inside is just beautiful condition, extremely clean, no odors, as clean as they come. Engine bay is also very, very clean. We are shooting this with an iPhone and the low light isn't the best. Extremely clean truck, 74,000 miles. Let me go ahead and crank it up for you guys. That's just with the door open, and that's with no seatbelt on, obviously. Dash has no cracking. AC works great, heat works great. Go ahead and pop the, it's door jambs, extremely clean. Rockers are perfect. They're brand new. Shocks hold up as they should. Just a real clean engine bay. We didn't do anything to it. Nice and clean as it should be. I will, we don't have a ton of gas in this thing. It will come with a full tank of gas. I don't want to drive it too much, but I'll do a quick ride around the industrial part. Usually we go on about 10-minute rides in our videos, but it's Friday night. It's been a long week. I'm the only one here and we don't have a lot of gas. Just bear with me, I'm backing up in a tight area right now. Truck drive's absolutely perfect. You know, we spend so much time reconditioning our vehicles. We spend equal time inspecting and servicing our trucks as well. All the electronics work as they should. one little loop around here. I'm not going to go too far. I drove this truck plenty of times before we put it up for the original listing, and it is smooth as can be. I'm sure in the first video, which once again, we'll have the link in the description below, there's a drivability portion where if you want to see me driving this truck longer, you can see that. But this truck drives perfect, no issues. Thanks for viewing, guys. If y'all have any questions, 855-955-3377. Thank you.